and welcome to Lesson 8, Learning HTML5 and CSS. Today we're going to start an introduction to CSS. We've done the HTML, we've touched on a little CSS, but now we're going to, before we start actually coding the CSS, I would like to get into 3 different ways to provide CSS styles for your web page. So you can get familiar with, if you want, each of the 3 ways, so you can see what you're more comfortable with. The first type is external style sheets, which we've used before. You can code the link that refers to the external style sheet. It's a separate file that contains the CSS for the page. This separates the content from the formatting and makes it easy to use the same styles for more than one page. The attribute for the link element that links to an external style sheet rel attribute with the value of style sheet and the href that locates the file. And you'll see an example where it has link, the relation, and it's a style sheet, and the href is going to take you to your .css file, which will link it to your EML page, or HTML page, excuse me. We're going to go over to our second way, is embedded style sheets. This is referred to as when you embed the actual code into the HTML for the page. You have the rules encoded. This works okay if the styles you're going to be used for one document only. You can only put it in one, because as you'll see, you start off with your style and then you have your body, and then you can just put however you're going to format your body and however you're going to do your headings. You can do that up top in the heading part. I still recommend the external. It's a lot easier to handle. The third way is inline styles. You can use these within the HTML document, and when you use an inline style, you code a style attribute for the HTML within the value that contains all the CSS rules that apply to that element. Unfortunately, this type of formatting means that the content and formatting are tightly linked, so this can quickly get out of control. As you can see, you start off with your H1 heading, you put all that style into it, and then you put whatever your heading's going to be. It can get long. And again, that's why I recommend the external style sheet. You can use it over and over again. The next thing is using more than one type of style. You can code it in there, but there is a rule to how these will be sequenced. The sequence are applied as the external sheet, the embedded, and the inline. That's going to trump each one. If you use more than one way to provide styles for a page, the styles that are applied last override the styles that are applied earlier. Such as if you're using more than one external spreadsheet, it would be applied from the first to the last. And as you see, the CSS would be applied first, and then the CSS2 would be applied second. In the next lesson, we're going to touch more on coding CSS. I just want to give you an idea of how you can code each one.